better sit down. I got some news. I'm getting out, cutting you loose.
Hello, welcome to another episode of Memphis on the Mark. I am your host, Mark Jones, and with me today is Savannah Bearden. Savannah Bearden, Queen of the Gays.
Queen of the Gays, Queen. I've appointed myself that. I didn't want to mess with the lights, so I didn't wear the crown. But
Thank you, because you'd be signaling planes.
That's right.
trying to
I
land
would be. Just
the
it would throw
reflection.
everybody. Would throw everyone. Yeah.
Yes, but perhaps we can see you later in that. You can
Yes,
model it for us.
Of course.
That would be nice. Well, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Very good. You have put together with your team, your posse.
My posse.
Your
My
gay
crew.
posse. Most of your gay posse.
Yes, exactly.
A wonderful show here. You've just celebrated the 5th year.
5th year, yeah.
It's called the Breakup Show.
Mm-hmm. Breakup Show 5 just wrapped. Yep.
Yes, and Ben and I came, and it was hilarious.
Thank you. I can't hear that enough. It's great.
Well,
I
it
really
was
can't.
hilarious. I really can't. Please.
No, it's good. No, yeah, I love doing that show. It is our 5th year. It's an interesting format. I think you could agree that we don't see a lot of comedy shows like the ones that we do.
Oh no, it is something very unique to Memphis, and
Yeah.
not just right now. I think it's very unique in the history of Memphis.
Right.
You know, it's not like someone did this in the '70s and you're redoing it. I mean,
Right.
it's new.
Well, it's a fun thing. I mean, because Memphis comedy is I think having a nice renaissance. I think that there's been a small scene, and now stand up is really booming, starting
Sure.
to boom, like kind of from the underground up. And we're lucky in that we're filling another little hole in Memphis comedy,
Right.
of doing kind of a multimedia comedy show that's not exactly stand up, but it's not exactly theater. But it's also something very universal, and
Yes. Yes.
So yeah, it's a really fun show to do.
Well, can you give us a little history of the show, how it started, and what you did
Sure.
to build it up to a really big audience?
Yeah. It started 5 years ago, and I was in a theater company, actually the local gay theater company, which
gay.
shall remain nameless. I'm not going to talk about them. But we started there. They had we had 3 weeks to put together a show, and we were almost broke. And we're like, okay, we just need ideas, something that's really cheap to produce, and just something that doesn't take a lot to produce. Period. So I had always. When I was in college, that's when Yahoo Personals was really big, and that's when it was free, and so you could just log on and read everybody's profiles. And so me and my friends would get together and read these profiles, but read them as the character we imagined them to be, like based on their pictures or how they typed or their punctuation. So you could be like the screamy all caps guy, hello, you look pretty, I'm looking for a woman, whatever.
Well, that sounds attractive.
It really, I mean, definitely. Anytime you type in all caps with no punctuation, it's like, oh, that's going to be my life partner.
Yes.
I like that guy. Anyway, so from there, I mean, I've always found that really funny. And so when we were thinking about doing something really quickly, I was like, why don't we do this with breakup emails or with text messages, something like that? Because everyone's got those.
Sure.
Everyone. You can walk up to anyone and say, tell me a bad breakup story, or, show me your phone, and, show me what you're texting with this guy you've been seeing for a week,
Right.
And everybody's got it. So it was free material, and there was a lot of it.
Right.
And so after that first one, I was like, oh, well, that kind of works, and that was kind of free. So let's do it again. And so, added another cast member who's a local comedian, Brandon Sams, and that was in addition to my other 3 cast members, Jamie Hale, Bruce Bowie, and Dustin Holden.
Sure.
We brought in a house band and started doing videos. Because that was also another way for me to bring my friends in that weren't in the show to be like, hey, I went on these really bad dates. Will you help me recreate them?
Film these.
Yes, exactly. Yes. And so it's been really fun. And so it's been basically just like the past 5 years of just collaborating with really funny people, and also becoming kind of like this weird, like, broken heart collector almost. It's funny because I'll go out places and people know me as the Breakup Show girl.
Wow.
Usually it's when people are drinking too. They're like, oh my God, now I've got the funniest story for you.
Yeah.
You'll love it. Like, and then they tell me like the saddest story ever.
Yes.
But that said, I get random submissions from people that are so brilliant and hilarious. And what I love a lot about it is that people people get why what we're doing is funny, you know, like, because we will take an email that maybe on the surface you wouldn't think is funny, but it's in the way we read it.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, it's in the way we give this character life, which is really fun for me, you know, because it's like making fun of somebody, but not. It's just this weird kind of line. But yeah, so I think it's, we're not running out of material anytime soon.
No, people are breaking up every day.
Right. And so as every year that goes by, it's a real fun exercise in what can we do to raise the bar. Like this year, I think we raised the bar because we had a drone. We used a drone. We had a drone
that's right.
shot.
That's right.
We're really fancy now.
You are
like
fancy.
Crazy fancy.
Because now where have you been? You've the last 2 years you've been at.
We did the Broad Avenue Water Tower Pavilion.
Thank you.
Yeah, this year and last. We were at Crosstown Arts for 2 years before that, which is amazing, amazing venue. Such a great space for local artists to show their work, produce their work. It's amazing. Before that, we started out at Theater Works.
Okay.
So we've come from tiny black box theater to big outdoor, you know, the pavilion. And we had a new location this year at Studio 688, which is actually a photography studio, which is a great venue for us. It had the nice white cyc wall, so we could put our text messages up there, all the transcripts, and play our videos back there, and still really be close to our audience, because that's kind of a lot of what we rely on is close up, where it's like we read something and people can see that we're like, really? Did they really just say that? Like, you know, like, so that's nice. It's a nice. It's just different from being at the Water Tower Pavilion, where we're kind of far away from everybody. But that's, you know, that's all really fun.
That's a good. Well, we were talking earlier. There is a little bit of a problem in Memphis in finding a venue.
Yes, very much.
An affordable venue that seats a lot of people.
Right.
Because you've had 200 or 300 at the Water Tower
Yeah,
outside. And it's a big, nice space.
Right.
But sometimes it rains.
Right, it does. Like this last show we did, we were so excited about going back to the pavilion, and we've never done an October show before. We're like, oh, October 3rd, it's going to be the most beautiful weekend of the year, obviously. It was 50 degrees
Ben and I were
raining.
there, and we had a little blanket. We brought a blanket from home.
Right.
It wasn't raining that hard.
It wasn't, but it was that shitty mist
Yes.
the whole time. It was horrible.
You'd almost rather it rain hard or not at all than just that little mist.
It's
but it
not
was
a
fun.
good sign when I'm sitting there like, I don't want to come to my own show. Like, I don't want to be here.
But we loved it. The audience laughed our asses off.
That's awesome.
At the material.
Well, you know, that shows devotion too, and people will sit out in that kind of.
Oh, there was easily 200 people there watching the show,
which was awesome, and that was really, really amazing.
But Memphis, we need more affordable venues that can seat 150, 200. Because Crosstown Arts, it's 90.
We maxed out at about 90, and we have fit more in there. Don't tell the fire marshal. We have fit more in there, but you know, that is the only venue in town that's kind of a blank slate, where if you're a comedy show, or if you know, a rock band, or you're a photographer, anything you want, it's just, you have this blank canvas.
Right.
And it's $60 a night. It's incredible. So yeah, but we are in that weird in between where it's like, we don't need the Forum, but we also don't need, you know, somebody's backyard.
Right,
you know, it's so. And
you don't have a sponsor, so it's not as if you can afford to rent out playhouse on the square.
You know, with this show, we cuss constantly and talk about really awkward sex stuff. We can't get a sponsor. I don't even
What's
know
up
what
with that,
about.
Memphis? Come on.
Come on, Bellevue. Phone's right here. But yeah, so we do realize it all comes out of our own pocket, and so we've been lucky that Crosstown Arts is there. We're lucky that Broad Avenue is so open to us being there and gives it the space for free. It's really great, and 688 cut us a great deal, which is wonderful. But yeah, that's about it. I'm kind of at this point like, I don't know where we're gonna do the show in the future. I don't know. But yeah, so we need more spaces like that, and I feel like there's got to be so many people in Memphis sitting on, like, well, I got this warehouse back here that I don't use, or oh God, you know, I've got this huge attic space or something.
I've got a barn in the backyard.
Right.
Dad said I could put on a show.
Exactly.
Well, you mentioned Crosstown Arts and your company that you work for.
Yes.
You're part of the actual Crosstown concourse experience.
Yes, we are. Loaded for Bear is who I work for. Great little tiny design firm in Midtown. But we we nabbed Crosstown, which is amazing. We're not only Crosstown Arts, but we do have Crosstown Concourse. We were part of the naming, all the branding, all the art that you see is Loader for Bear. Michael Carpenter, Anthony Carter, Josh Breeden, Joel Halpern. Like it's our little family.
Awesome.
It's really cool. It's a really cool.
Well, there'll be there's talk of some theater in that space.
Yes, yeah. They
in that 1,000,000 square feet.
Right. Might as well. Why not?
We'll throw in a small theater.
Right. But yeah, they just sent out surveys to all the different, not like the theater Memphis is, but the little theater companies in town that maybe will go to Evergreen or Theater Works or something. We want to be able to have a theater in the building that's comparable to that.
Yes.
And that can also expand due to people's needs. Like, do you want to do a tiny performance for 60 people? Do you want to perform for 500 people?
Right.
We want to be able to accommodate that. And so those surveys just went out. And this is going to be tied directly to the final design of the space. Like this is going to the designers.
Wow.
So it's really neat, and the possibilities are kind of endless because there is good money there.
Yes.
It's like it's really exciting.
That is really exciting. And Memphis has such great theater in it.
It does.
I mean, it has established theater buildings like Circuit Playhouse, Theater Memphis, but it has so many small little groups like yourself and mid-sized groups.
Right.
I mean, putting on shows annually or 3 or 4 or 5 shows a year.
Even like I said, the Evergreen Theater is such a great testament to that. You can't get in there because
these places are booked.
Yes, it's like, and all these people are like, who are they? But they, there's at least 20 theater companies operating full time, producing plays, and getting in there for a great deal. Which is it's a great thing that we have that one, but it's at capacity.
That one's at capacity.
Theater
Works has been at capacity.
Crosstown Arts is now at capacity. So where do we go?
Yes.
Where do we go from there? So, I will say this true story. I literally went to the Paris Adult Theater to see if they still had theater space in the back. I literally did that.
Wow, they do. I hope you bought some new shoes.
I didn't. Well, we went to the squeaky clean new part. It was like, what? Because it's so sketchy outside. I watched. I was like, this is actually kind of nice.
No, you're kidding.
I swear, it's like all white and clean and gleaming. It really is nice. However, they had just blocked off the theater space in the back. But I was like, hey, it's an old theater in Memphis. Like,
that would be kitschy.
It would. I think people would come to that.
We'd have to get the boots on or
I
whatever.
I was gonna clean. I was gonna get Service Master in there.
You could clean a lot.
Yeah. Well, and we like to keep it dark too. Keep it dark.
Yeah, well,
but
so do they.
I can't. Broad Avenue's so hot right now. I feel like we could have just latched
you could
onto
have
that.
and maybe
exactly. Go have dinner at Bounty and come to the Paris Adult Theater afterwards.
Exactly. Now that's a night.
That would be a night.
That would be a Bounty
I think
and Paris
we would have
Adult
had
Theater.
lines out the door. That's just me.
I'm sure Taylor Berger is happy that we're both using the name of his restaurant and Paris Adult Theater.
Whatever. It's all right. Hey, I'm thinking progressively, Mark.
You really are.
I am.
You just
wait.
expand Broad Avenue and make it work.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Sorry, Taylor.
Sorry. Yeah.
A couple of quick things. One, your company was part of the naming of the Crosstown Concourse.
Yes.
Great name. Were there some rejected names you can think
of?
There
were tons and tons. And this was actually right before I came on board, but I did see, got insight into all the stuff. But I know one was, a big contender was Atlas.
Okay.
Which was, it was a very Gotham City-esque kind of concept, which I think could have been very cool.
Right.
Because it is an Art Deco building.
Yes.
And, it's a very foreboding, huge monster of a building, too. So it could have been very cool. I believe there was something about like Crosstown Metropolis, something like that. But yeah, Concourse went out. It's got a nice vibe of a collective of people coming and going, which Concourse is expected to have at least 3,000 people every day coming in and out.
Wow.
Yeah. And so it was this, it's this intermingling of the community that may not have come together for any other reason, but they're still in the same place. And we hope that, like a concourse in a train station or an airport, you don't come in to stay. You come in, you take something from there and you go elsewhere, and then you come back through. It's just this flow of people in and out.
Wouldn't it be great if we could get 3,000 people a day in the Memphis airport?
Oh my God, that would be incredible.
That would be an achievement.
Now that's something we need to work on. We really should do that.
Do.
Yeah.
We really do. In just a minute or 2 minutes before we wrap up, what advice would you give to someone who's starting out, who has an idea like yourself to have a show? What advice would you give them?
Honestly, this is as simple as I can put it. Do it. Just actually
do
do it. I mean, not to be all Nike or whatever, but I mean, literally, that's what you have to do. And I think people get really overwhelmed thinking about, like, they want to go from point A to point Z. Like, they feel like they have to complete this vision in one fell swoop or else it's a failure. And it's just taking one bite at a time and not even knowing what your outcome's going to be. You can definitely have a goal for what you want, but I mean, I know just with this one show, I just had to do it, and I gave myself a deadline, and that made me do it.
So you went from like A to C.
Oh yeah. I think I went to like A to A.5, like the first break.
A minus.
Like, exactly, A minus. But yeah, no, it's really just about taking that first step, and then you just start getting your momentum. Right. And after a while, you don't even think about it. It's something that you just do. Like you get better at it. It becomes more natural for what you do. And yeah, I see so many people that are stymied and thinking about it and talking about it. Wow. And I think the more that you do that, the more you're just not going to do it.
Sure. So kids, just do it.
Just do it. Someone should really make that a slogan. I think
that would be a great idea.
I think you guys could have that.
That's a freebie.
That's right. That's right.
Well, Savannah, now it's the point of the show that I like to do a little bit thing I call Moments with Mark.
Oh, Moments with Mark. It's good. I like it. You're like the Jack Candy of Memphis. It's good. It's good.
Yeah, thank you. Memphis needs to get more 12-step meetings out into the public arena. I'll just say AA for the sake of this show, but there is narcotics, cigarettes, porn, the list goes on and on. But Memphis would be better off if we could get AA meetings scattered across town. Now, the city owns libraries that are situated in all the neighborhoods. So my suggestion is to open up the libraries just for AA meetings, maybe 2 hours earlier than the general public, and say 2 hours later after the general public leaves. So maybe open up the library at 7 a.m. and close it at, say, 8 p.m. Now, I know this costs money for a person to be there, but think of this as an ounce of prevention and the pound of cure. So we could have, like I said, AA meetings in our libraries before and after they're open for the general public. Now, I'm not suggesting we ban alcohol or anything silly like that. If you want to get liquored up, go for it. Just do it responsibly. You know, drink a beer at a ball game or going fishing or it's Tuesday. That's great. That's fine. But there's some people who need help. And AA meetings are an easy way to do it and very, very low cost, if any. So, thank you. Savannah, thank you so much for being on the show. I appreciate it.
I loved it. I loved it. I'm so honored to be here.
I think this may be the longest show yet.
The longest? Oh my God, it's so weird because I never talk a lot.
You don't. And so you came out of your little box.
I did. Thank you.
I appreciate that.
Mark. I appreciate it.
Folks, support your local theaters and your local comedians and filmmakers, and just support local Memphis. Thank you so much.
I'm getting out.